Good morning, Truth Serum Nation. It's your pal, the Truth Serum, JoJo. We've seen this. Go get a coffee. Go get an orange juice. Thank you for your support. Get settled in. I didn't schedule this, but we've been seeing this Caitlin Clark story with that Kennedy Carter, and it's on ESPN, and they're talking about it, and they're looking over it, and they're picking at it and all that, and that's to be expected. Go get something to drink. Come hang out with me. All right. It's the Truth Serum. This is skipping. Of course, my video's skipping. Who wouldn't know that? But hang in there with me, folks. We'll get it correct someday. So, the WNBA has been a failure. The NBA supports the WNBA, which hasn't been solvent since its inception. They've had champions, the title champions, coming in, and the next year they can't even fill the stadium. It's still crickets. So, like Phoenix might have won a title or some other, but then it's still anemic numbers. So the NBA supports the WNBA, which has been fiscally unsound. So Caitlin Clark comes into the league, and she's highly recognizable, and the illustrious college career. She comes in, and she pumps blood into this dead entity called the WNBA. They're selling tickets. They're selling jerseys. They're selling merchandise. They're going to be put on network at ESPN and other they're giving them some visibility, and they're doing all that. And in the meantime, Angel Reese, that is a teammate of Kennedy Carter, they don't like it. She comes out and says, well, I'm good too. Why don't they focus on me? I'm good too. This is what you're getting. And the NBA is 70% black. These numbers change. 30% white, okay? So she gets fouled. The ref, she gets bulldozed over, and the ref calls it a common foul. Okay. Then later on, the league upgraded it to a flagrant ESPN is reporting on it this morning, and of course they're biased to cover it like, oh, there was nothing wrong with this, there was nothing wrong with that, and they're candy coding it, and of course they're gonna have that narrative, and it's Bush League. What if it was a white player doing it to a black player, a bulldozer like that? What if it was the other way around? Now, I am not racist. All my best friends have been of color. People that know me, I fought side by side with my friends of color because of other racists. I call it like I see it here. So let's just get that established. If there was a new black girl coming onto the scene in the WNBA that was getting all kinds of shine and getting all this pumping blood into the NBA, and some white girl come up and bulldozed her, you'd see Al Sharpton the next day crying about racism and all this. You'd see Al Sharpton and the NAACP and everybody else under the sun. So ESPN is whack. The WNBA is whack. It hasn't been profitable since it started. And, I mean, there was greats. There was all-time greats, great women basketball players, all-time greats. Candace Parker. I like Candace Parker's commentary on sports. I like her. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore, Cheryl Miller. There's been great women best black women athletes for the WNBA, and even whites, Diana Taurasi, some other ones too. But it's crickets. It's crickets. It just can't, it's not profitable. It is not profitable. No matter who you got there. You know, what's there? I mean, and then ESPN is trying to compare it to when Michael Jordan come in the league and they were roughing him up and everything else. ESPN is straight up whack and political. And the WNBA, it is what it is. Don't listen to the truth serum. It's unprofitable. It's subsidized by the NBA. And they didn't like that Caitlin Clark did a favor for the WNBA and demanded better conditions for all the players. So they're not taking buses on highways at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're taking chartered flights. They're getting reservations at rooms. She upped the game. She was going to be a good ambassador for the WNBA and try to pump some life into that carcass that it is. But no, they turn it around. Everybody, Angel Reese and all of her teammates stood up and applauded after she bulldozed her. And the coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, she's up there playing it off. Oh, well, this is happening. What? Haters, racist. I call it racist. You know what? If the shoe was on the other foot, you'd have like I said, Al Sharpton and the NAACP. You'd have them all up there watching. And Caitlin Clark still tried to be gracious about it. What a class act she is. They're jealous. Instead of embracing her to raise the league up, they're all jealous that a white girl come on the scene and trying to raise the game up. A lost leader for the NBA. It's not financially feasible, and trying to raise it up. Merchandise, network airtime showing games, giving the other players more exposure for their brands. No. Jealous haters. And I don't know if she was black, would have the same thing happened? Would have Kennedy Carter smashed into her if she was black? For you folks to decide. That's for your folks to decide. If she was, so Angel Reese gets up there and they're not. You've been in the league for a half a minute, Angel Reese. You've been in the league for a half a minute. Now you're so aggravated and mad, and she gets up there and goes, "Well, I'm good too. Well, I'm good too," and everything else. She was jealous of Caitlin Clark in college, and Angel Reese was a great college player. I don't know what her statistics are or whatever. I only watch when Caitlin Clark is playing, but I ain't watching it anymore. They want to turn it into some kind of ghetto league, then turn it into it. Turn it into it. That's all. I'm familiar with the ghetto, okay? I'm very familiar with the ghetto, okay? For people that know me, I'm familiar with the ghetto. So I qualify to call it ghetto. All that smack and bull crap and everything else. I got best friends that are black today that I already told. And they're like, "You're right, JoJo. You're right. We talk. We're friends. We could debate on things and stuff. We're buddies. We could talk about stuff, but it's right. It's right." They turn it into political gibberish. Then if the tables were turned, it would have been a racist move of a white bulldozing, a up-and-comer, the new breath of life into the league. Why? Because none of them hacks could cause a big excitement. None of them other past players brought excitement into the WNBA until Caitlin Clark came along. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players came up to the WNBA, and they couldn't bring the excitement from college to the WNBA? None of them. Zero. And ESPN is up there all morning long trying to candy coat it. They're candy coating it. Well, yeah. So they say, well, that's a flagrant foul, a flagrant one, and there's been 100 of them in the league already. Yeah, there's been 100 flagrant fouls that were in the league already. Yeah, but there's other circumstances connected to it. Number one, she's white. She came in, caused excitement. Number two, the whole bench of Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter, they got up and applauded. They got up and applauded, and the coach and everything else. They only wanted to call a common foul on it, and then the league had to come in and upgrade it. She should be restricted from playing. Kennedy Carter should have to sit down for the next 10 games. She should have to be sit down for 10 games. So they fined $1,000 and they fined $5,000 or something for whatever, which they're not going to pay anyways because it's the same entity. So, yeah. Well, Caitlin Clark's got to expect to be played hard and everything. Yeah, she's a tough scrapper. Yeah. It's her first league in the league. It's her first year in the league. She's a scrapper. But holy cow, there was many greats. Now, it shouldn't even be a black or white thing. It just should be who are the great players of the WNBA. Who are the great players and how the league fared. There's been many great players, white and black, and the league is still non-profit. It still loses money. So it's a product that if you had a store, the store would have went bankrupt 22 years in a row. The store would have went bankrupt. If it was under the subjugation of regular market forces and supply and demand, the WNBA would have went bankrupt every year since its inception. So it's not a viable product, number one. And then you get a girl that comes in and sells tickets, sells jerseys, and that's gonna reach the periphery of the league. It benefits every team. It benefits every team in the league. But these jealous, racist haters don't like a white girl to come on the scene and take all their shine because of the 50 black women that couldn't rise the league up. And I have respect for them great 50 black women that I have their athleticism. I have respect for a great athlete, woman athlete. My daughter was an athlete. I respect women athletes. I went to every game, took her to every practice. I respect that. But just don't get it twisted with ESPN and political TV and media and all that biased crap that they want to turn it into, oh, yeah, they probably, oh, that truth serum, he's talking smack about this or that. Yeah, okay. That's all, ESPN. Yeah. They're all morning. They're over there talking, oh, what's the big excitement about? What's this? What's that? Charles Barkley even said it. Charles Barkley even came out. Hats off to Charles Barkley. Said more or less the same. You got somebody that's trying to be the messiah, the savior of your shit product that you put out, and show some great skills that the league hasn't seen in years. Pump some blood into it. But no, that ain't good enough. Look at the commissioner of the WNBA. Google that. Look at who's all behind it. Look at that. So, and Caitlin Clark took it with class. With class. If the shoe was on the other foot, you would have Al Sharpton and his other gang of whoever they are. They in the NAACP, they'd all be up there. Special report on ESPN. Al Sharpton speaks out about black girl getting ran over, a rookie black girl getting run over by a white girl. They designate 4 hours of ESPN airtime to go over that. But in the meantime, they candy coat it and they're trying to turn it around like, oh, it's just a regular flagrant one. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. When everybody was applauding, they were all applauding. And the coach and everybody else up there applauding and everything else. Because the white girl's taking the shine. Let her take the shine. She's going to raise better conditions. She's going to get you charter planes. She's going to get you hotel accommodations. She's going to get you a better financial package. Angel Reese has been in the league for 30 seconds, a half a minute. Well, why ain't the focus on me? Why ain't the focus on me? Angel Reese. That other one. Why isn't the focus on me? That's today. And sports media, social media, and what they're doing. Now, I don't care to watch any games. I was only interested to watch Caitlin Clark. No. I watched Mayberry RFD. I watched the Three Stooges before I watch any WNBA game again. Let it fold. If the NBA wants to just keep subsidizing that political racist league, let them. Then getting a second of my watch time. Oh, Michael Jordan always got fouled hard when he came up and all this and that. Oh, come on, man. They're all sitting on a panel with straight faces. Just, I mean, these people feed you a narrative, and it's just like they just figure people can't think for themselves. Well, just don't watch ESPN, Joe. Well, I only try to watch the games, and I try to watch the morning talk show or whatever, this or that. I like the guy from the Boston Celtics that talks basketball. There's a couple guys that, talk some real stuff, But the black lady reporters, they're talking almost like racist. They want to look away and put a different spin on it. They want to put a different spin on it, and nobody else, because there's producers and writers and directors of that show, and you could bet your bottom dollar they're going, this is more or less what you're going to say, and this is what you're going to say in their morning meetings. It's a whack league. I used to try to watch it before. They're missing layups. What's there been 3 dunks in the history? They're not. I mean, there's great woman athletes, yes, but basketball is more specialized sport. Specialized. I mean, and it's not like I'm rooting against it, but it is what it is. It's a failure. It's not a viable product. You can have any debate. So obviously the consensus of the general public aren't interested. It's just not the truth serum. Obviously, it hadn't showed a profit since it's been in there. So obviously, it should have been bankrupt for 22 years straight. So that's the temperature of sports fans. That's the temperature of sports fans. It's just not worth watching for whatever talent level there might be. There's been some greats, but there's been some games you watch that looks like 11th grade basketball. You watch some of the WNB games, forgive me, whatever talent is on the court looks like 10th grade girls basketball. Some of these WNBA games. I'm sorry. I've tried to watch it, but geez, shameful. So most of the sports fans feel the same way. It's just not a viable product that has sustainability. And that's why the NBA has to subsidize it every year. Here comes Caitlin Clark trying to pump some blood and life into this dead carcass, and they don't like it. They should be hugging her as the great ambassador for the WNBA, and they're hating on her. All the teams coming in, and she's got a target on her back. Oh, well, Michael Jordan had one too, and all this gibberish and all that. And she's taking it with class. She's taking it with class. And I'm going to tell you, well, whatever her numbers are, this or that, she's a fighter and she's a warrior, and she's going to come back and elevate that team. She's going to elevate that team. And I hope it comes down to her playing Kennedy Carter's team and Angel Reese's team. Karma, somewhere down the line in some critical games, when Caitlin Clark has to face up against them again, she's gonna torch them. She's gonna torch them, just like she did in college. Just like she did in college. Yeah. See, they remember what she did to them in college. Yeah, they remember. They remember. She'll torch them down the road. But she's class. She's a great ambassador for the league, and trying to raise the standards up for the league. And like I said, their league's so viable. They're taking charter buses here and there, and they're eating at McDonald's. Yeah, they have a food voucher. Yeah, that's how profitable that league is. Get on a Trailways bus for 3 hours at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then throw a Big Mac down their throat and everything else. Come on. She comes in to raise the whole league up. And what's her thanks? How does she get thanked? That they're all trying to bash her out and everything. Well, it's just a physical league, and the refs are overlooking fouls and everything else. Terrible. But then the commissioner has to come in, or if there's any integrity, what color is the commissioner? Take a guess. Has to come in and say, ho, 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 ho. If they have the class enough to say, enough's enough. We're going to start fining all these teams and coaches, players and coaches. We're going to start fining them all if there's any more of this hanky-panky going on. Or we're going to be worse off. Worse off. We had a chance to build this product up, and then what do you want to do? Tear it down because you're haters? Do they have a commissioner that'll take a stance like that? Probably not. What color is the commissioner? So there you have it, folks. I wanted to get that in. I was an athlete. I was around a lot of great women players and coming up, sports. And I'm not a racist. I'm just giving a commentary how things would look if the shoe was on the other foot. The league is predominantly of color, and then you can't have no white girl coming. You can't have no white girl coming up here and getting our shine. Oh, don't steal our shine. Ain't no white girl gonna come up here into the WNBA and steal our shine. Yeah. Just like Angel Reese and the coach up there, all applauded. They all stood up and applauded and everything else. And yeah. A lot of class. If it was reversed, boy, that would be such racism. So that would be such racism if it was reversed. If it was reversed, it would be all of a sudden the race card comes along and everything else that follows. Crazy. So that's that. I had to get it off my chest. And we're gonna keep the nature walk going, folks. Getting back in shape, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna hit the anchor bar hopefully and show where the chicken wings were coming from, where they were originated from in Buffalo. I was there a long time ago. I was right across the street from college, and I used to go there every day. And hopefully, I can get the guy to talk about it. But everybody else passed away. There was one guy, the bartender Ivano, that was still, but he had passed away. And I know I could have got to talk to him. I know I could have got to talk to him, but God bless him and God rest him. He passed away. So that's that. We're gonna have a fun summer. I'll be at Six Flags too, doing them shorts and everything else. So thank you, folks, for riding with the Truth Serum. Hit the button, any button you see, like button, share button, notification button comes in handy, and subscribe if you will. If not, that's okay. I just appreciate the view. You come in here and watch. So we're gonna keep going. The Truth Serum. I'm happy with my supporters of the channel, and thank you, Mike and Jimmy, for coming in. And I'll talk to you soon. Oh, you know what I'm gonna also try, folks? Years ago, they used to have the roller skating and everything, and I used to like the all-night skates and roller skating and all that. So tomorrow there's a roller skating rink that's got a oldies night from like 8 to 11 tomorrow night. And they're going to play the songs from the 70s or 80s or, the disc 80s and stuff. So I'm going to get up on skates and have my phone and do some boogie skating, some roller boogieing. Get an old man out there. I probably should have some knee pads and elbow pads. Might be a good investment for some knee pads, Band-Aids, and some elbow pads. But no, I'm like Evel Knievel. I'm just gonna get out there. But so we got that on the agenda. So stay tuned. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Support the channel. There's a Cash App there if you're so inclined. Super chat. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, I appreciate all the support I can get. So that's all. Be kings and queens of the world. Jesus and God is good. So hang in there on your dreams and look for God and Jesus to give you some more support. All right, folks. Thank you. God bless.